Progress update, day 24. Guess what? I'm still sanding. I've got the primer on the wings, and I've got it semi-sanded out. And I got the fuselage pretty much done. And what we're going to do today is, if you look at this primer, it looks pretty good, but I went to Lowe's and I got some Gold Coat 400 grit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this primer off. We just don't need that much primer on there. It looks good on there, but not necessary. So this is a soft block. Get these at the body shop. And we'll use the soft side down. And I'm going to go over the whole airplane with a block. And I'm going to bring it down until you can see through it. I'll do this with 400, and then I'll come back with 600. I just don't want all that primer on there. So, like I say, day 24, there's not a whole lot to post, so I'm not going to be doing the section in the finishing. I'll add this to finishing. But for hours and hours and hours of the sanding, I just don't believe that that it's worth posting it. It's entirely up to you. If I got to have some feedback. If that's what you guys want, I will post it. I mean, I can let the camera run for many hours of me sanding, but it would be kind of boring. I don't think I couldn't talk for the amount of sanding that's going to go in this. I would say we're still still 3 or 4 days out of sanding, getting it ready. And when I talk about sanding, I'm not talking about 10 minutes at a time. I'm talking about all day. I sand all day long. I went over this now, and you think, well, that's good enough. No, I'll go to another spot. But there is no doubt in my mind, I'll be back sanding over the same things that I just sanded. Finishing is sanding, and there's just no other way around it. I would love to tell you there's a magic potion you can just spray on and it's finished beautiful, but it's all about the sanding. And if you look here now, you can see through the primer. You can barely see through it. It just starts to show a hint of the wood underneath it. And that's how I want the whole airplane. That way I know I don't have that much primer on it. Primer's only for the low spots. And in order to find those low spots, you got to use a block. Now, when I'm looking back here at the back half of the fuselage, let me zoom in and see if you can see it. If you look at the back half of the fuselage, this is pretty dark right here. That means there's too much primer on it. So we get the soft block. This gold coat sandpaper from Lowe's is really good. It does not load up. Look at that. I've been sanding on it and it does not load up. Anyway, we'll start blocking it out until I can just see through it. And it's starting to show. I'll do the elevator stabilizer the same way. It'll all get blocked out. Remember, it's real easy to add the weight from here. We're about, I would say there's 2 or 3 ounces left to go on this thing in color and clear. And I'm already, I can start to feel the weight picking up. So I got to get the weight off of it by sanding the primer off of it. And the only problem is, and I can't for the life of me figure out how this is, and I've tested it. If you take a piece of wood and prime it, first you dope it, and then you prime it, and you sand all that primer off, it'll still weigh more than when you started, even though you sanded all the primer off. Nice if I could sand an ounce of this primer off, but I know that's not going to happen. We're not going to make mid 40s. It's going to be high 40s. But that's just the way it is. I'd already made up my mind. I want an outstanding airplane, not just mediocre. There certainly won't be any urethane. I was watching a Wendy video and he painted a fuselage and 1 coat of paint was 15 grams on the fuselage. So if he'd have painted the whole airplane, that'd have been 3 ounces. With urethane, whatever you spray on stays on. Anyway, cut the camera. Probably be back, I don't know, in a day or so. It's whatever. You know, it's just continually sanding. I can't express that enough. Oh, I would like to show you this while I got you on camera. While perusing eBay, I bought propellers. This is something you ain't gonna see. This is the 11.6 EW. I haven't seen these in years. I'm looking for 13.6 EWs, but I got 4 of these and a whole bunch of other rev-up propellers. I'm gonna pick through them and we're gonna sell a few. So keep your eyes peeled. I'll be selling these on Stunt Hangar, and if they don't sell there, I'll move them on eBay. So we'll see you on the next day, but I can't see sanding, so you keep sanding. Tight lines.